understanding the modularized curriculum, occupational standards, blended learning, Dual TVET, RPL, and Apprenticeship. So let me start first of all by welcoming all of us to Better Life Institute. And our theme tonight is equipping competent Christian leaders for church, community, and marketplace transformation. By the end of this session, you should understand the following. Number one, the CBET philosophy, the modularized curriculum, occupational standards, program structure, blended learning model, the Dual TVET model, recognition of prior learning, apprenticeship, competence assessment, and your responsibilities as a trainee in this program. I believe that Better Life Training Institute is committed to producing competent Christian ministers, chaplains, pastors, church administrators, missionaries, Christian educators, community transformation leaders through competence-based education and training, practical ministry, digital learning, workplace learning, character formation, and all that. So let us dig deeper now. Number one, let us answer, what is CBET? It has become a common terminology that was not there in the church. CBET simply means competence-based education and training. CBET is an educational system where learners are assessed on what they can actually do, not simply what they know. Instead of memorizing notes, you demonstrate competencies such as preaching, counseling, conducting worship, evangelism, church administration, community outreach, leadership, as per the TVET occupational standards for Christian ministry level 6. So what are occupational standards? What are occupational standards? Occupational standards describe the following, because in your training, we are guided by the Ministry of Education by 2 documents, which you need to understand as a trainee: the curriculum and occupational standards. Occupational standards are what we call the OS. The short term of occupational standards is normally OS. So you cannot train in TVET in Kenya today. Any discipline, whether pastors, plumbers, mechanics, nurses, there are 2 documents, and that is the occupational standards and the curriculum. Now, what are occupational standards? Occupational standards describe 1, the knowledge; 2, the skills; 3, the attitude. The attitude required to perform successfully in a ready ministry environment. The knowledge, the skills, and the attitude required of a Christian minister to perform his or her duty or work in a ready ministry environment. They define performance criteria, evidence requirements, practical skills, and the workplace expectations. They ensure every graduate is employable and ministry ready. So that is all about occupational standards, and you'll have a copy of the OS we are going to use in this program. You'll have a copy of the OS we are going to use in this program. Next, what is a modularized curriculum? A modularized curriculum is broken into modules: module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, 5, 6. Instead of studying one long program, the curriculum has been divided into modules, and each module is independent. Now take this. This is very important. Each module is independent, accessible, competence-based, flexible, stackable, and you can complete one module, be assessed before you proceed to the next module. This allows flexible learning and progression. Unlike in the past, where you are to do a diploma non-stop for 3 years, at the end of 3 years is when you are doing a final exam. In the modularized curriculum, you finish a module, you are assessed, you are given a certificate, and you move to the next. So if you decide the certificate have been awarded for now is enough for me, I'm going to use it for some time, make more money, then come back later, well and good. That is up to you. So nobody can say, I don't have money to study. You study what you can afford, what is accessible to you, what is available to you, and the time you have. If you feel that you don't have time and the money, you do what you can, you pause or adjourn and come back when you are ready. There's no punishment. Your assessment results are kept in the system. When you come back, you pick up from where you left. So in the Christian ministry, we have 6 modules. 6 modules with the 24 units of competence. Level 4 has 6 modules, no, 6 units of competence with the 2 modules. Module 1, 3 units. Module 2, 3 units. Level 5 has 10, 2 modules, each module with 5 units. And then level 6 has 6 units with the 2 modules, each module 3 units of competence. And these are some of them. Let's go to the module 1 at level 4. Module 1, we have the Ministry of the Word. Ministry of the Word is where you get hermeneutics and homiletics and principles of teaching. And then church mission operations, and then pastoral ministry. That's module 1. You can do the Ministry of the Word, how to teach the Bible, how to interpret the Bible. Church mission operations, how to plant churches, how to operate a chain of churches or fellowships. Then pastoral ministry, how to pastor. So at module 1, you can get a certificate, a qualification. If you do only module 1, Module 2, chaplaincy principles, conducting spiritual services, church community activities. So that's module 2. So if you do module 1 and 2, you get an artisan certificate at level 4. Now, if you decide you are proceeding to level 5, we have module 3, digital literacy, communication skills, ministry of the word. 2, church mission coordination. That's module 3. It has 5 units. Module 4. Module 4, we have work ethics, entrepreneurship, church administration, pastoral ministry. That if you do module 3 and 4, plus what you did in level 4, module 1 and 2, you get a qualification of what you call craft certificate. What in the Bible college would be called advanced certificate. If I may use Bible school language, so artisan is like the basic certificate. Then level 5, advanced certificate. Then from there you move to module 5 and 6. Module 5, we have guarding the Christian faith, developing Christian believers, pastoral counseling. That's module 5 at level 6. Then module 6, at level 6, we have ministry of the word, church ordinances, church management and governance, and then industry training. Now, that completes 22 units at level 4, 5, and 6. But remember, we have said you can learn what you can afford depending on the time available to you. If you have enough time, go all the way. If you don't have enough time and the money, you take what you can afford and use it and come back and continue. That's the beauty about CBET, unlike the old system of it. This applies not only to pastors, but it applies across the entire TVET sector. Now, let's come to something else. How are we going to learn at Better Life? We are going to use blended learning model. You know, a blender, you put in various fruits and it blends and gives you a mixture of all the fruits you put in the blender. So we are going to mix the following. 1, online learning. We expect all our students at Better Life Institute Thika to learn online. We can have weekly virtual classes. We can have recorded lectures. We can record a session like this one for use. We will have a learning management system that manages all our learners countrywide in our partner institutions. We will have discussion forums. We have some technology which you are going to learn with time. There's something called Padlet, which we shall introduce to you. You work in groups online, you discuss, make conclusions, and share your outcomes or results with your trainer. We'll also have face-to-face sessions like the ones you have been having every Tuesday. So we shall have face-to-face sessions where we will have a lot of physical interaction with our trainers. Workshops. We'll also have workshops. Seminars, conferences, and practical demonstrations. Workplace learning will also have workplace learning, church attachment. You will be attached in your church with a logbook. In fact, one of the things you need urgently after this induction, each student should have a logbook which documents your practical work which you do. We'll also learn through community outreach. As we do outreach as ministry, we learn. Then mentorship from experienced practitioners in this ecosystem. Now, why blended learning? The benefits of blended learning are as follows. One, flexibility, because you are adults. Learn while you are serving. Learn while working. Reduce travel costs. Self-paced learning. Access from anywhere. And that makes adult learning very good. Now, Dual TVET. We have a new way of training by government, and there's a policy document in that direction guiding TVET institutions on something called Dual TVET. It means learning in two places. Institution, you learn in a physical institution or online or whatever, where you learn theory, biblical foundations, leadership, ministry principles, and then we put you in the workplace, in the church, in NGOs, schools, hospital, prison, Christian organizations, community projects. This integration strengthens competence through authentic workplace experience. And then apprenticeship. Apprenticeship is actually how Jesus trained the disciples. Jesus trained the disciples using apprenticeship under trees, on the lake, in the boats, in the desert. Paul used the same. Men that Titus, Timothy, and many others, they were his apprentices. Elisha, Elijah, all this. Abraham trained 300 workers on the job. So we'll also expect you to learn under experienced ministers, and that's very important. You will practice preaching, counseling, church administration, evangelism, leadership, worship services, and community transformation. Finally, practicum. Practicum enables learners to demonstrate competence in ready ministry situations. Where were we? Apprenticeship, yes. I think we are done apprenticeship. We are now coming to, we are just said that part of the training will involve apprenticeship and then practicum. Then finally, as we finish, we have something within CBET called recognition of prior learning. Recognition of prior learning. So as we admit people at Better Life, remember, some of these people have been working in the ministry for 5 years, 10 years. So in CBET, Unlike the former system of education, first of all, we give people opportunity to be assessed for prior learning. We need to give people opportunity to be assessed for prior learning. And when they are assessed, then from there, we can build from what they already know and what they already have. So I expect all the candidates in this class, actually, we need to do what you call assessment for prior learning. Based on what you did 3 months, we had a graduation the other day. Based on that and the papers you have from seminars, workshops previously, they form what you call prior learning. You have been learning, you have been working. So prior learning is also part of CBET, and it can reduce, if your course was to take 1 year, it can reduce it to 6 months. And therefore, you can see even the cost of training is reduced because you have a lot of prior learning. Lastly, competence assessment. Let me talk about competence assessment. Assessment in this program, by the way, there are no exams. Look at mitihani hapa hakuna. The language here is now assessment. And assessment methods can be as follows in CBET. 1, observation. We observe what you are doing, we assess you and award marks. Practical demonstration. We assess you as you practically carry out a task. Oral presentations. This takes care of, if you go to Masai land, there are preachers in Masai land who don't know how to read and write. But they are preaching. They know what they are saying. So oral assessment is very important for adult learners who have not had opportunity for formal education. Projects. You can be assessed through a project, like a capstone project. Portfolios. I've told you, you need your logbook immediately. Portfolios are important in CBET. Workplace reports. Report from your bishop or your supervisor in the workplace, which is the church where you work. That report forms part of the assessment. Reflective journals. Writing journals where you are reflecting over certain things, either the New Testament, Old Testament, or the ministry. Interviews. You can be assessed through interview. Assessment determines whether competencies meet occupational standards. Assessments determine whether competencies meet occupational standards. I'm repeating. Assessment in CBET is normally based on occupational standards. The curriculum only guides training, but when it comes to assessment, we use occupational standards. Then lastly, industrial mentorship. Students will undertake supervised industry attachment in church, Christian schools, chaplaincy departments, like in police, prison, faith-based NGOs, community organizations, hospitals, and other facilities to enable the learners apply classroom learning in real ministry contexts. Now, your learning journey starts with admission. You pay admission fee. You are admitted at Better Life Training Institute, FICA. That is step number one. On admission, you are going to sign a training contract. And the training contract describes clearly the roles and obligations of the service provider, Better Life, and the trainee, which is you. And you are going to commit yourself in terms of availability and financial obligations, and be ready to be assigned tasks that will produce evidence that you are competent enough and you deserve or you qualify to be awarded a particular qualification. Upon admission, you will get an ID card, which is important. You will also pay for what we call insurance, assuming we go for a practicum somewhere and something happens to you as a student of Better Life. What happens? You must have insurance cover. Of course, most of you are adults and you already have insurance. That solves the problem anyway. Upon admission, you'll be given a student handbook. That student handbook will guide you on your journey and life at Better Life Training Institute. Upon admission also, you will sign what we call the Code of Ethics at Better Life Training Institute. How you need to conduct your life during the training period at Better Life Training Institute. And other policy procedures and protocols which will be required. After admission, we come to orientation. Students are taken through the orientation of the entire curriculum and occupational standards. And then module learning. How module learning takes place from module 1 to module 6, so that you are aware what is ahead of you. I think by the end of this session, we shall make available the OS, the Occupational Standards and Curriculum for Christian Ministry, which I expect each student to have a copy, familiarize yourself, understand, and we will give you an assignment to determine whether you have understood the curriculum and the OS, because those are the basic tools that guide CBET training of Christian ministry. We shall have continuous assessment known as formative assessment, which is done by the service provider. And then practicum, industrial mentorship or attachment, and then summative assessment by TVET, CDAC, and then certification. So that is what we expect from you. And then finally, a Better Life Institute graduate should demonstrate spiritual competence, integrity, biblical literacy, Christian character, and then professional competence such as leadership, communication, counseling, administration, evangelism, digital ministry, community engagement, workplace competence, problem solving, teamwork, innovation, accountability, lifelong learning. And those are outcomes of this program. And we expect every student to attend all classes, participate actively online. We shall be using various platforms where you break in groups online, do work, and then you make presentations online, complete assignments on time, maintain high ethical standards, respect trainers and your colleagues, engage fully in workplace learning, build a ministry portfolio, serve with excellence. What are the opportunities after graduation? You can serve as a pastor, associate pastor, chaplain, missionary, Christian educator, children's ministry leader, church administrator, community development officer. Actually, you can be employed by NGOs, county government, as a community development officer, as an NGO program officer, as a faith-based trainer, as a ministry consultant. So our commitment as Better Life Institute is to provide quality CBET training, modern digital learning, experienced trainers, workplace mentorship, flexible learning, competence-based assessment, career guidance, spiritual formation. My closing remarks: CBET is learning by doing. CBET is learning by doing.